boys and girls, welcome to this. Boys and girls, this is Alex with Mynd Property Management. Today we're talking about Elk Grove and investing in real estate, specifically in Elk Grove, and how to be successful doing so. My guest today is Dan Hines. Dan, how are you?
Doing great, Alex. Thanks for having me on. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So Dan's got a wealth of experience. He co-founded Mynd Property Management, which managed 1,400 units in the Sacramento Elk Grove area. And since about 6 months ago, Dan's team joined Mynd, and Dan is now regional director here at Mynd. So Dan, let's talk specifically. Let's unpack some of the reasons why investors are successful in investing, specifically in Elk Grove area. Let's hit me with the top 5 reasons, in your opinion, investors can be successful there.
Top 5. First and foremost, diligence. Researching the area, buying the property right. Elk Grove that'd be the number one. Elk Grove is a very high demand, strong area. People flock to Elk Grove because of the school district. There's lots of quality, newer construction. So that's reason number 2. So one, make sure that you know the area, make sure you're wanting to buy there, make sure you understand, the expectations of who your residents, who your tenant base will be. Staying on top of market trends and growth, that also feeds into step number 1. And really what that means is, a lot of people say that you'll make your money on the purchase. You have to buy it right. So you need to understand the timing, being in tune with what correct market rates are. It all goes back to the underwriting and making sure that you're really confident in the overall structure of the deal and the property.
Do you have some tips and tricks on that? Maybe, sorry to deviate, but do you have maybe like 1 or 2 little top tips on how to buy right, especially right now? We're in what, September 2019. Some people say the market is kind of hot and it's going to cool down. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, and how do you buy right today?
Figure out what you think the worst case scenario is, and if you can live with that, then consider doing the deal. Meaning, I think there's a lot of investors that grab this pie in the sky type situation. If everything goes right, or they'll get really aggressive with their vacancy rates. They think that just because the property is new, and I'll touch on this a little bit later, just because it's a new property, they don't think they need to factor in for expenses. All of those things still exist. It's still real estate. These things, come up. So, be conservative, still cautiously optimistic, but make sure that if everything goes wrong, if the property is vacant for longer than you think, if you have to replace a water heater 6 months in, make sure that those things will still pencil out and it's a deal that you can live with.
Is Elk Grove, Maine, and sorry to deviate, I'm just super curious on this particular pocket in around Sacramento. Do you think it's more of an appreciation market where you buy and sort of hope for the appreciation, or you see properties cash flowing?
So purchase prices are pretty strong out there. So it won't be a huge cash flow play for a lot of investors unless you're bringing on a lot of equity. It's definitely a strong appreciation market. And then, turnover rates are usually very low. The submarket of Elk Grove, it attracts a lot of people that want the high quality schools and want the peace of mind that comes with, newer property, higher grade construction. There's a lot of quality elements. That's what attracts people. So it's traditionally a very stable, more stable, I would say, than other submarkets of Sacramento. We are seeing property owners that have held properties for a handful of years that do have a nice cash flow situation. But Sacramento, it's been a very strong, quickly growing market. So purchase prices have been strong, and there's also quite a bit of new products going up out there again too.
Gotcha. So go back to the 5 reasons. 1, you said know the area. 2 is know your numbers. Number 2.
So number 1, diligence. Number 2, know the area. 3, staying on top of market trends and growth. Number 4, and this is something that a lot of people overlook, know what your overall goals and exit strategy is, right? I think a lot of investors will get into a property, hold on to it for too long. Maybe they don't realize that they've already extrapolated 70 or 80% of their total potential value, and they just sit in it for way too long trying to get that extra 5 or 10% worth of value out. If you want to park some capital for a handful of years and exchange that into something better, know what that looks like and set things up correctly from the very beginning so you can participate in some of that. Or if you're the investor that you want to capture the equity and have that resident pay down your debt, and you just want to hold this as long as you can, put your blinders up. Don't pay attention to what the neighbors are selling for. Don't get distracted by, do I think this is a good time to jump? Just be clear on what your goals are and be clear on what you want your exit to be in the very beginning.
Gotcha. And so that was number 4, understand and build a strategy, have your goals in place, and then execute your real estate investment strategy based on those particular goals. Because, some folks can be 10 years from retirement. Some folks can be 30 years from retirement. Some folks can be in retirement. Right. What is your number? And that's different goals. Obviously, there's different life paths and different situations. So set goals, then manage your investment against your goals, not against cycles or what's popular or whatever. What's everybody doing? Dan, what's the last one? 5.
So in order to execute, you need to have a great team. So from a CPA or a tax preparer to a property manager, professional representation, if you are planning on selling, build your team early, have people and resources around you that you can lean on, learn from, that you can trust, a team that you think has your best interest at heart, and get out there and execute.
Gotcha. Look, if you're still watching, we have this whole series on both Elk Grove and Sacramento. You can just go to mind.co, go to resources, type in Elk Grove or type in Sacramento, and you'll see a number of these more insightful interviews about the area and how to go about investing. We also run a number of events. Twice a year, we'd run a mastermind event, we call them. So if you want to learn more, you check out our events and sign up for one of those events. Again, if you need property management services, we're here for you. Otherwise, I hope this video really helped you out. Dan, thank you for your time.